time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, move on to treat, yeah. Keep listening.
No, I was talking to Margaret. Welcome to your show. The magical, magical place where cameras can die 30 seconds before we start, but yet we somehow manage to get it set back up and looking pretty. Hope you're having a great little hump day as we make our way through a short week. We got the Phenom in the house on the ones and twos, and we've been dealing with all sorts of gremlins. I think they still call them gremlins in the biz there, Ernie? What's the deal in the radio biz? You call it gremlins when stuff doesn't work?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, the gremlins are rolling through here.
And stuff I touch.
Yeah, and anything that man has touched is also broken. So as we get set to do our Wednesday tradition around here, that tradition is checking in with our very good friend. He is an author. He is a speaker. He is everything that the back of his book says he is and more. Not just a pretty face either. Look at that handsome mug. So we were setting up a double Zoom. Then we got a bunch of notifications saying we don't know if it's going to work. And then everyone just showed up. So now the beauty, and I was just telling Curtis this as well, the beauty of all this being live all the time is this is the stuff that can happen. It's the good with the bad, but I don't think any of this is bad because it adds realism to a show that promises to always be real. As we now are going to go to our attempt at a double Zoom, and we're going to see how this all goes because we've got some exciting things going on in the system. Let's go ahead and flip it over and see who we got there. Ooh, I see coach number 1 and coach number 2. It looks like coach number 2 is dressed up, but can we hear you? Coach number 1, say hello.
Good morning, Gary.
Oh, you sound
Howdy.
fantastic.
Good morning.
Oh, yes, and coach is there. Dude, how do you guys, can I get a quick hand for the Phenom? Let's give him a big hand here. You guys should have saw what he was dealing with. When it comes to these Zooms, like he said, we set it up and then we send a link and then we link in and you can see the face and everything, says, hey, we're ready to go. This time, he had it set up, and then it asked him a bunch of questions, and there was no sign of your guys' beautiful faces. And this was all within the last, 4 minutes. And he somehow got it on. This is why we love going live. Adrian Belarjon, Teams That Swear By Each Other, Not About Each Other, is the book. I absolutely love it. I'm almost done. I think I'm on page about 130. He comes to us from lovely, beautiful Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne, am I saying that right?
Yeah, the accent sounds good, Gary. I'm not sure if it's beautiful today. It was 0 degrees.
Oh,
Zero
dude.
this morning.
We are doing a role reversal. I would love to be where you are right now. In this studio, it is 24 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, I'll trade you. Let's swap spots.
Yeah, well, I would love to, as it's basically like we're Nellying in here so hard. Like I'm ready to take off all the clothes and just call it a day because it's just too much. And I see Coach number 2 is bobbing his head. He loves It's Getting Hot in Here. Is that your favorite Nelly song, Coach 2?
Love that Nelly song. Everybody in the club getting oh no, that's it's getting hot in here, isn't it?
It is. You
I love getting
up.
tipsy. I messed up.
Also a
My
great
brain,
song.
I knew I liked Nelly. My brain knew what song I liked more than the one you were talking about.
I'm just happy you know 2 Nelly songs. That's pretty
I know
good.
that country. I know that new country song too is hot.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
I just came across that song last week from Paulina Gretzky's Instagram account, and she had that playing in the background, and I listened to it 6 times in a row.
It's so good.
I feel like she should always have a song about being hot on in the background of any of her videos. And not because she's an attractive lady, but because she is the spawn of the greatest athlete in the history of mankind. And she needs to be celebrated as such. I feel like that gets lost a lot because she's doing all of her own things. Do not forget, she is Wayne Gretzky's daughter. That is royalty around these parts. in beautiful Canada as we make our way through on a hump day, burning hot in here. So I guess it's winter time all the way over there. Hey, AJ, that's why you're sitting around 0, or is that like a bit of an extreme low?
Now we're right in the heart of winter here, so there's no snow, but we've got frost on the windshields. And here's an approach to try. Never tried this while living in Saskatoon, but what people will do to get the frost off, instead of starting the car and letting it run for 10 minutes or a scraper, they either use the credit card or they bring out some cold water and just pour it on the windshield. And apparently that it doesn't crack the windshield. Maybe because it's not cold enough, but that is common practice here.
Weird.
Whoa. So you're telling me instead of scraping, be it with a scraper, or I guess they're scraping with a credit card, but you'd rather. So which one do you fall under then? Are you a card guy or are you a cold water guy?
I'm a credit card guy, or just leave the car warm up for a little while.
Do you get chirped on for being too Canadian when you do that?
People just say, why don't you just pour water on the windshield? It just doesn't feel right.
It's weird. It's a weird thing.
Like maybe some windshield washer fluid. That would make sense. The cold water I don't get. I miss the days where you could just take an old CD case or a cassette case, and then scrape the windshield. Those were the days. I used to have a suitcase full of cassettes, and one would just be dedicated to scraping the windshield when it got a little bit frosty. Dead of winter, you got to commit. But
Please tell me it was Alabama.
it wasn't Alabama. No, it might have been Bananarama.
That's a little better, I guess. Both very
I
good.
thought it might have been Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 2.
Come on, I wouldn't do that.
GNR. I see you're coaching here. You got a game time's about 4:45. You were saying the diamond looks really good behind you there, coach number 2.
That's the dugout.
Well, no, when you were walking before, right there. See that?
Yeah, the clouds don't look so great.
Ooh, menacing.
There's a severe thunder watch going on, but it's just a watch, and it like the radar isn't calling for rain, but we've been getting nothing but rain here, AJ. It's just been wet and damp and dank and gross, but it's 26 degrees or whatever outside for the first time this year, so it almost feels like it's trying to be summer. And we got a double dip because we've been rained out so much, so we're trying to fit 14 innings here tonight.
Oh,
so
geez.
the goal is to play. We're playing the Braves. You're familiar with the Braves? You both are, and they're nice kids, but they're gonna go home crying tonight, probably.
Oh, that's fantastic. You got any pitch counts on your kids out there?
Pitch counts?
Yeah. You guys pitching? You got pitchers, right?
Yeah, we got pitchers. What do you mean pitch counts?
Oh, exactly what it
Like
sounds
game-
like. Are you counting their pitches?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What's
We
the
had
max?
Jackson Dowie we played last night. We beat the Athletics, which were, as I told you before, they're formerly the Rays,
Yeah.
which are now, it's pretty much the Red Sox, the Dodgers, and the Orioles combined to make the Saskatoon A's. And it was not their day. It was our day yesterday. So our pitcher threw 5 and 2/3, sorry, and threw about 70 pitches of shutout ball, and we won 23-1. Jacoby hasn't been doing so hot on the stick this year, but he woke up last night. He went 5 for 5 with 4 RBIs, 5 runs scored, 2 doubles. It was probably his career game yesterday, so he was pretty pumped.
Don't mind telling the boys, hey? I like that. Very proud dad right there. I do, and AJ, you can speak on this. I miss when things were simple, when we were the Cardinals and we would play the Blue Jays. And I guess we linked up with the Braves the one year for our super team. But we played against the Braves and we had the Rays, and it was just everything was simple. And you touched on this before too, when you have club teams now. And I talk about it all the time. I really feel like we're losing identity and we're losing the funness of baseball when you're grouping everyone in together like that and throwing them out there and doing their whole thing. I know I'm wrong. You're already shaking your head at me there, Coach 2. But Coach 1, baseball
Just that you
throwing.
Go ahead, AJ.
Amazing. She's getting frustrated with you, Gary.
I know. That's why I do it.
Yeah, but I was looking at Maisie and I wasn't really listening to you, Gary. What was your question?
Well, I know, he's so mesmerizing. So I miss the old days when there was 5 zones and 5 team names, and then that's what you played. I miss that. It was so simple and so easy. I guess I hate how baseball is growing. Do you feel the same way? I know you love baseball as much as we do, and you love seeing it grow and flourish, even though it's a totally different sort of setup with your clubs and all that. Do you miss the simplicity of the old way baseball was run?
I think as a parent, the simplicity was nice because you didn't have to weigh up. Oh, should my kid play in this program? Should they play in that program? Or which coach is going to be better for them? And having all these options. It reminds me of that scene, you know, on Borat when he goes to the supermarket and he's looking at what is this? What is this? And the guy goes, "Oh, that's cheese." And he goes, "Okay, what is this?" He goes, "That's cheese too." And there's just this entire aisle of cheese. And Borat's confused. He's like, well, why do you have all this cheese? Like, I just want a piece of cheese. It feels like that with sport, with travel teams and academies and all the different options for them. So I think from a parent, it was nice just going, this is where you live, this is where you play. And it was that. But I think having more programs also opens the door for a lot more people to play. And they actually probably play more. So that's debatable whether that's good or not. But I like that for my son, Ollie, he's got a couple options that he can play in 2 different programs and learn from 2 different people. So I think in that sense, it's a good thing for the kids. But for the parents, it just makes it a little bit harder work.
Have you noticed? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Coach Stu.
No, I'm going to interject here. I think you're misunderstanding a little bit. So of one dynamic. So there's AJ's talking about academy baseball and then club baseball. But the thing is, when a city's growing, like Saskatoon's growing, you're trying to find parity and consistency. So if you have maybe a part of the city that's grown, that's part of the Blue Jay area or part of the Cardinal area, and it's grown to the point where the city hasn't built the Brave Zone up yet, like they're working on it with Brighton and stuff like that, but it hasn't grown there. So every year there's a bigger draw for the Cardinals or the Blue Jays, for example, right now. And so their teams, they're having a lot more kids to pick from. So then they go and they play a zone that's not as big, and they're destroying them at the highest level and throughout all of baseball. And so then if we wait, the Braves will catch up. And if we wait, the Athletics might catch up as well. But the idea is if they switch, like they're doing a switch in Saskatoon next year for 13U, just like they do for 15U, just at the highest level, it's going to be a citywide tryout. So all the top kids will play. They'll be on 4 or 5 teams, probably 4 teams. And they apply, there's a little bit more parity, better games, closer games, better competition. So kids are still engaged, and then they'll still play in their zones just at the lower levels. It's going to be great. Like in our league right now, there's the Blue Jays are 13-2. The Cardinals are 13-5. We're 8-6. And then the A's and the Braves have won 1 game and just against each other. Right. So it's like, it's not, you can't wait for a city to catch up. You got to create some parity, and that's the way it is. So that's my only idea about it.
And that's basically what they did with hockey as well, hey, is what you're saying?
They've done that at the higher levels. They haven't done that at technically these kids' age group. They've done that at U15 and U18, and they have citywide tryouts, and then they do some blending or whatever as you get younger, and sometimes they'll combine zones. But yeah, no, I think it's a good thing. You still will have your Bobcats. You'll still have your Flyers and baseball. You'll still have your Braves. You'll still have all that at the community level where maybe competition's not so intense, and kids are just doing something here. Not baseball's not summer, it's baseball spring, and everyone goes to the lake in the summer, right? So the ones that want to play and not ever have vacations, like me apparently, that's what we do. So we want to play at the highest level. We want to keep going. We want to rip all summer long. I want to keep going. I want to play baseball. I want to watch my kids play to the point where they probably say, Dad, it's time for a break. And then I'm like, okay. And I'll mope around the house for 2 weeks or whatever. So until hockey starts.
And
That sign him up for fall ball.
Which we're talking about it. Yeah. Thanks, AJ.
That was where I wanted to go next. So is Ollie playing right now, AJ?
Yeah. So he's here. We've got winter and summer baseball. So he's playing winter baseball, and then so he plays club, and then there's a tournament coming up for kind of like a rep team that's in 2 weeks. So he's doing some training for that, and then he does this academy twice a week. So
does he go all year long?
Yeah. So this season starts in October. Summer goes till March, and then winter starts in April and goes till August. But we only play one game a week.
Ah, there's your
That's
difference. Good. Okay. Now, have you noticed a difference at all in, I guess, as a whole, with playing baseball all year round? Because that's become an option for a lot of guys around these parts, and I figured you've been doing it there forever, I imagine, right?
Yeah. So I'm a little bit torn because we'll go back to Wayne Gretzky, right? And probably Wayne Gretzky's kids, Trevor and we'll go back to Paulina again.
Yeah.
But Wayne talked about growing up playing two sports, baseball in the summer and hockey in the winter. And I know it's a big debate. I think it's the same over there with hockey and everything. I would like Ollie to play a different sport, but he doesn't want to. And for the amount of baseball, if we're playing tournaments every 2 or 3 weeks here, we're playing 2 games a week, I'd probably think that might be a little bit much for the arm. But it's kind of like we're playing CFL football. We only play on the weekend, 1 game a week, and that's it. So I don't think that's too much from a playing perspective, but I just think from a meeting new kids and developing different muscles and all that, playing 2 different sports would be good.
And
does he do anything in school though? Like, does he play school sports and get options?
So they have a baseball team, but it's funny. Him and another friend of his are the coaches. There's not a lot of baseball knowledge in the school, so there's the coach is the teacher, and he's like, well, you guys just tell us what to do because you know more than me.
That's funny.
Would you say that baseball to you is like cricket to us?
It might be more like, it'd probably be pretty close. I'm trying to think, like baseball would be like a tier 3 sport here.
Yeah.
But check out when's the MLB draft? That's coming up soon, isn't it?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
There's an Aussie. I'll get his name wrong. Travis. I call him Travis Bonanza, but it's Travis Bazana or something, and he plays at OSU. He'll be top 3, and he's from Sydney. So there's some quality players. It's just not necessarily the quantity and the volume.
I would compare it, and AJ, we've talked about this separately before, but I'd more compare it, Gary, to maybe ball hockey, where so baseball's new-ish to Australia, but they're pretty good at it, but it's maybe not as known as some of the other bigger sports. But in Canada, like a huge growing market is ball hockey for just another different version of hockey for kids here, and maybe as a change of pace from being on the ice the whole time and skating the whole time. But now you're playing ball hockey. You're still playing hockey, but you're still working different muscles and switching it up a little bit. So yeah, when I was in Australia, baseball, it wasn't unheard of. I mean, yeah, it wasn't maybe footy or soccer or cricket, or floorball or whatever, but that was a good sport show.
What was floorball? What is floorball?
No, what is it? What's your daughter? What is it?
Handball.
What is it called?
Netball.
Netball. Yeah.
Netball's
like volleyball. Netball's like volleyball combined with soccer, isn't it?
No, it's like basketball.
Combined with soccer.
It's like it's like basketball, but no dribbling.
And then a big net. Is there no backboard?
and there's no backboard, but there's a basketball net with no backboard.
Oh,
Hey,
dude,
okay, that's netball. Gotcha.
that's just the original basketball that James
That's
Naismith
original
invented with the peach basket. That's all that is, and the hole through the bottom. You pop it out.
There's a commercial about that, wasn't there? On
Yeah,
CBC?
heritage moment.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so what's that one where they jump from like the 3-point line and throw it into the net?
NBA Jam. Hey, he's on fire. It must be the shoes.
Well, it's like
That was
ball,
it.
whatever.
Or
Or
slap.
floor ball, because I don't know what you're talking about, Maze, and I've never. It must be floor ball.
Must be.
I thought you were talking about handball. Handball seems
Handball,
like a pretty
that's
wild
fine.
game.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
feet are on the floor until they're not, and then you throw the handball. Yeah, that's the one.
Is handball big in Australia there, AJ?
No idea, but you know what is picking up, and 2 years ago, Mom and Dad came here to visit, and their dad's big into his pickleball.
Yes.
And he came here, and people are like, "What's pickleball?" And there's a few gyms that you could go play at. You just show up, book in your time, and then this year they came, and you had to pre-book. The gyms are packed, so we're probably 4 or 5 years late with pickleball. But one of the guys from our baseball club is training to be a national champion at pickleball.
Oh.
So he's found all the high-end competitions. There's apparently a semi-pro league here, and he's training. He wants to be an Australian national champion at pickleball.
I love pickleball so much. It's the perfect sport for a fat guy with broken bones like me who can't move very well, but still has a little bit of that hand-eye coordination, so you can still, I love cutting the ball, getting those spins on it and all that stuff. I really feel like pickleball is the perfect sport for people who are in a situation like me where you're not very mobile, but you still want to have some fun. So I'm all for it. Is it at the Olympics this year? Do we know? Is it Olympics? I feel like that's going to be an Olympic sport soon.
It might be eventually. That'd be hilarious, actually. Here, can I throw a curveball at you guys since I'm at the ball diamond?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gary, what can the CFL do? And I'm stealing this from AJ, but that's fine. What can the CFL do that's a little bit different? So we got baseball that has the Field of Dreams game,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have hockey that has
Heritage
Stadium
Classic.
Series and the outdoor game, the Winter Classic, and all that stuff. And the NFL's going to NFL UK or Europe, but they're traveling around a little bit. And then they have their all-star thing, which is just a flag football game now. So the CFL, I understand it's not at that level, and there's maybe not that much of a fan base, but can the CFL do something interesting like that? Like what can, like, maybe that's, hey, do I got to go? Is it time? I got to go hit, boys.
The team's calling for you.
I'm being
Okay.
called.
You go.
I gotta
I'll
go.
hang out with Coach 1 a little longer. You take care. Thank you, Coach number 2. You're amazing. I
Bye-bye.
love you.
You guys talk about that. Okay, bye.
Okay, well, we'll field
Yeah.
that question. Live. Hey, live. I love it so much because anything can happen. It's so cool to see that go down. To answer the question, I have no idea because the CFL is already so unique, isn't it, AJ?
Yeah, so Maisie and I were talking about this because I think one of the shows you asked me saying you don't connect with the CFL anymore.
Yeah, I've lost my love. Yeah.
So we started to talk about So I love how the NHL will go play an outdoor game.
Yes.
Now here, if I were the Riders, this is what I'd be looking into. I don't know who the GM is anymore, but I would be looking at hosting a game out on a prairie field in some, big farm area. Maybe go down to Edam, Vaughan. That's kind of by North Battleford. That's where my parents grew up. Or I don't know, somewhere between Saskatoon and Regina. I don't know if there's a big field in Davidson.
Yeah.
Or something.
Call it
Imagine that it's getting temporary lights. Imagine the view from up top with wheat growing.
You go right out into the middle of the field. My buddy Tim Stone, I love him so much. He's from Davidson, and he's got a farm out there. You go out to his farm, you go right into the middle of your crops, right in the middle, tear out a field, build it right in, just like Field of Dreams, get all the lights up and around it, call it the Farm Series, and bring someone in, set up some stadium seating around it, and just let the boys play in the field, just like the old. I love that. Don't do the corn though. Don't do the field of corn. Do the field of wheat. Do the field of wheat because the corn.
Wheat.
I
There's
believe
something there.
Field of Dreams was a cornfield, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. See, so
Ray
we don't want to mess
Kinsella,
with that.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
Cut up
You know. I've only
cut
ever
up his
watched
crop.
that. I've only ever watched that movie one time because it was so unbelievably emotional and I connected so much to it that it was like almost an ordeal to get through. So I promise to never watch it again. It just hit way too close to home. Everything about that movie.
I can remember driving to Yorkton for provincials, and Jason Maisie reminds me of this. Is that I made the group listen to Field of Dreams on the tape, like a cassette. I'd recorded it, and we had to listen to it on the way to the tournament.
This is before, way before you could, run a YouTube video on the car ride up. Like you said, we are talking a full-on audio conversion of the movie to listen to get you amped up for the provincial. If that's not a J-Maze thing, I don't know what is. Did it work? Did it get you amped up?
Oh man, I could, yeah, absolutely. But Jay
Yeah.
May still talks about how I made them listen to it. So I don't know if it pumped him up or he thought it was a little odd, but he
No, that
remembers it. He's
well,
better
yeah.
off for it.
And it just, and this goes back to, again, your book. That's you being a leader, bro. That's you being a leader and saying, hey, you guys, I know how to motivate you. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to make it happen. And I love that. But I still refuse to. I just can't watch it because it just hits home. Anytime someone says, hey, want to go have a catch? I'm like, done. I have to go take a walk. Like, I can't even use that term. It's so unbelievable. I want to get back to pickleball real quick before you go. As obviously your dad was here and we had a nice visit and he was talking about going to visit when he dropped off the books. And I would love to get some sort of a pickleball tournament set up, like a fundraiser charity pickleball tournament. I don't know how that would be done, but I bet you your dad would be a great contributor to that in some sort of way if we ever get it done.
Oh, you just planted a seed because he's retired now.
I know he's saying.
Yeah, so this could be maybe that's why you're like, I want to get this done. Who could do it? Let's check if Mark's available. He might have some time.
It could be
I'll
good.
see what he says. I'll throw it out there and we'll just see if he bites a little bit.
I bet you. I could tell he's looking for something to do for fun. Like that classic retired guy look. Where it's like, yeah, I'm doing this and that, and like there's always something. Is he a member of the local pickleball clubs here? Like during the winter, does he play all the time?
I don't know if there's memberships, but often if I'm out doing some exercise in the morning, it's a good time. I'll want to call home and catch up with mom or dad. And I would say half the time, mom's like, yeah, dad's playing pickleball. So whether it's a membership or at Lakeview Gym or one of the churches, I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
It is blowing up though. I remember I went to Mexico years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago, and that was one of the first courts I ever played on, and it was so fun just because the minimal amount of movement. It's just perfect for someone like me who just hates running and getting tired. So I fell in love with it right away, and from that point to now, it's probably grown over like 10,000%. Like everywhere you go, you get like the local lakes around town. Like they got a pickleball court up at Shell Lake. Like these courts are everywhere now. You can go and play it whenever you want. And I think that's a really good sign of things to come. And it might be a good time for us to get a little tournament together.
Well, I'll plant the seed, Gary.
You do it.
And we'll see
And
what happens.
maybe we can even plan it around next time you come home. That might be something. I know you have nothing scheduled or anything on the books here, but just while we're planting seeds, because obviously next time you're back, you're coming in studio and we're doing all this from here. So that might be a play into whatever else we're doing. Blue Jays, we can't talk without talking about the Blue Jays very quickly. As are they ever going to fire anyone of importance, or is this just going to be the way to go? I know you're on record saying you're probably going to wait until the deadline, but I feel like they just got to pack it in now. Like Vladdy's hot and that's it. You got a hot Vladdy. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I was just reading Sportsnet this morning to see what the latest was, and I think from a management perspective, they'll make changes. They have to, but
Right.
outside of that, I just find it. I don't want to say depressing, but it's like,
Depressing. It is.
well, like 5 years ago, we had the best farm system. We had these two 18, 19-year-olds that were going to, 23, 24 were going to be our year.
Yeah.
and it's nowhere close. And yeah, we've got injuries, but like even our lineup, it's not good. I don't know what happened. But I do think I don't think we blow it up completely. I think week to week I change on this. It's like, you trade Vladdy or do you trade Bichette? This week I'm on, let's keep Vladdy. Let's sign him up. Let's
I
keep
think
him
he had like
long-term.
17 RBIs last week. It's crazy.
So
And that included a rainout game.
Springer's had what, 9 RBIs in his last 3 games or something. That's good. So now he's got 12 for the year. It is just, I'm at a loss at what to do.
Yeah.
They can't blow it up. Like, they can't be like the Orioles and be terrible for 5 years.
No.
But they've got to make changes, and maybe somebody new. If a new GM comes in, they're gonna refresh things and come with a new plan.
You said it perfectly though. Alex Anthopoulos left a World Series on a platter with this franchise when he left. Like, you and I could have walked in. Well, no, you are actually smart. I could have walked in there and pulled together a World Series team. That's how good the farm system was, and the bats you had up top. Like, everything was so good. And then these guys come in, and every single chip they had, they traded away, and it was for nothing. Like, nothing has come from any of the deals they made, while all these superstars that used to be Blue Jays are now thriving everywhere else.
And the big one is Moreno and Gurriel for Varsho.
Oh,
need to go
run
back
prevention.
into
Run prevention is so important. Like, get out of here. Sorry.
Gotta go
Continue.
back into the archives and see what did we think of that trade, because now you go, maybe 1 for 1 would have been all right.
Mhm.
But to have gotten rid of both now
Yeah.
looks like we got ripped off on that one. We've dropped the ball.
That Gabby Marino, I love watching that kid play. And I was a Kirky guy when Kirky was rolling, but he can't get rolling. Then Danny can't stay healthy. And it's just, like, catcher was such a power position for the farm for so long. And they couldn't have fumbled it worse.
No, and it was like, well, who are you going to trade? Moreno, Kirk, or Jansen? And look, who knows what they could have gotten for Kirk or Jansen.
Yeah.
But you'd think, well, let's keep the one young guy. Well, Kirk is young, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I
He's
got no idea.
younger. Marino was the
Younger.
youngest, and he was by far the most skilled. Like, he was projecting to go to exactly where he is. Like, he's that guy. And he's a catcher you can build. See, catcher. He's a catcher you can build a team around. And they said, no, we're good, thanks. We'll just give him away with another incredible hitter or a guy who plays some defense.
I have to admit, I just had a proud moment, Gary.
Uh-oh. The catcher?
The catcher. Like,
You never stop coaching, coach number 1. You never stop coaching. Right here. I'm almost done it, and I'm learning, and I've actually taken notes out of it, just like you said, to mark down some highlighter, do some notes. If you're building a team, here's what you got to do. And I'm learning. I'm getting more and more on the good side as we move forward. So you're coaching me not just now, but for my whole life, like you always have, all the way back to the baseball days. And I want to thank you for that. His name is Adrian Ballars, and Teams That Swear by Each Other, Not About Each Other is the book. If you are building a business or a team or anything that involves any sort of, camaraderie and bringing people together, this is the book for you. I can even read it and make sense of it. So if I can, anyone can. And that should be what's on like the back page. Is Gary Nickel even learned how to operate this thing? Maybe for the next one.
all right, I'm gonna jot that down, and we'll put that down as a testimonial or something.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you so much for always giving us a couple minutes, my man. I really appreciate you. Take care. Try to stay warm out in wintry Australia, all right?
All right, right on, Gary. Take care.
Take care. Adrian Ballars on, everybody. Woo! Man, it's so cool to have a guy in Australia that you can just check in on. Speaking of, Margaret, will you report to the stage immediately? Margaret? I have to use her full name. Maggie Old Ben Kenobi, please report to your spot. Thank you. Get on up here. And we will go to a Maggie Cam. And say hello to our fantastic friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Those friends being Mike and Rochelle, as well as Margaret's beautiful boyfriend Leroy, Kirsten, Shar, and Chris, all of them there to make your day so much better. I promise you, the second you walk in, you have a smile on your face. They will make you feel like your day is the best day of your life every single time you go into Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. So thank you again to them for giving us this Lovely, beautiful Megan. She's posing majestically today. I like that. She's doing good. What about some walk-up music? We got some walk-up music? All right, you're going to love this one. Ladies and gentlemen, next to the stage, it's the Phenom's dad! We're playing in too, bro. There it is. I have a huge complaint.
Speaking of majestic.
Huge complaint.
Okay.
Where is the wrestling shirt? Thank you for that, Phenom. That was great.
The
Where's the
re-
wrestling shirt?
Oh, okay. I thought you might call me on it, so it was. I knew it was gonna be hot today, so I wore the tank top. But check it out. I didn't leave. I got a. I'm gonna pin that on. It's a Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. See, I wasn't gonna leave you hanging, Gary. I gotta recap the first amazing 35 minutes of the show, though.
Talk to me.
Okay, Tim Stone.
Yes, my guy. I love him.
His baseball stadium.
Yeah, out in Davidson.
Yeah, you're like field of corn, field of wheat, field of stone. Field of stone, Gary.
You can't play on the stones.
Well, no, but the stones
I know it's a name
surround
play. I know it's a name. Okay, maybe that's
and
what
that's
we're doing.
and he's Tim Stone.
That
Makes
might be
sense.
fun too.
Number 2. What do I have to do to become Coach 3?
Well, you got a coach.
I could be your life coach, maybe.
I definitely need more than one life coach.
Okay.
I have.
You already have a life coach?
I got like 5.
And the third thing, we should have a whole show where we just rapid fire go back and forth with heritage moments. What's your favorite heritage moment?
Oh,
like we could just do like fly, no, but he can leap over tall buildings.
That's a good one. You know who loves these?
I smell burnt toast.
I smell burnt toast.
Right?
Oh, Croker used to redo them over at your old place. Remember that?
Really?
Yeah, he used to redo the heritage moments, and it was a
man.
great
It was a
little
great bit.
gimmick.
Yeah.
It was good
Everyone
stuff.
loves the heritage moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good.
See, I'm wearing a wrestling shirt.
I'm so proud that you did that, and you knew I was going to.
I knew you know, and I can't break the. I thought I had this giant bin of old wrestling shirts, and I don't think I have them anymore. I was like, I'm going to go through storage and pull them out, and I'm going to wear a new one every single time I'm on the show. And I got like the initial 4 that are still in my closet and in rotation. And then after I exhausted those, I was like, time to get out the bin. The bin.
That makes me so
upset.
So upset. Somehow you can have a bin full of over 300 Disney VHS movies, but can't hold on to.
It's not a bin, my
shirt.
friend. It's a wall. I'll send you a picture of that sometime. It is a wall.
This is slowly turning into a situation where everyone just comes around these parts and shows off all their awesome shit, and I love that. I was talking to my buddy.
It's turning into like an infomercial.
It is, but
it's
it's
the
such
stuff
a
you
good
can't
way.
buy.
Well, yeah, like Johnny Fraser, he came by here yesterday with Croker, and we were hanging out for a bit. He's got a big container full of Nintendo games that he wants to run on the Twitch as well. The Twitch is becoming like the hottest spot when it comes to basically anybody that wants to hang out.
Well, tag me in. What do you need? What's
my
a
point.
hole in the Twitch that has yet to be filled that
I have no
Curtis
idea.
Anderson can fill?
You'll be a part of it.
Yeah?
And this is what
All right.
everyone needs to know. And I was explaining it to you earlier about how basically that Twitch stream is like I was on it again today for I think 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like we're continuing to test, but I think coming up in the next weekend or 2, we are going to go into our full-on Friday night entire Dufferin Ave Media Network Twitch party.
That's phenomenal.
And so everyone comes, hangs out, and then everyone brings a game, and then we all play it and do that stuff. It's sort of a break from our speed running stuff. But once we have all of that set up, then we'll know, all right, what games do we need to do in? Like I'm thinking even covering that whole back wall with just games. Or VH, because we got the wrestling tapes too. I don't know. That's the thing with this place is like you can do anything. There's no one tell us we can't do anything.
I almost brought you another VHS tape, but it's a thriller from the 80s, and the cover's a little saucy. It's a little, when you were a kid and you'd go too deep in the video store and you'd be like, "Whoa,
wait
that's
a minute! I see
the
some
thriller
taters.
section."
Yeah,
Mom.
Was it a wrestling?
No, it was a thriller. It was a thriller.
So you had a R-rated movie.
I don't even know if it's R-rated. I found the VHS covers to be a little misleading.
Interesting.
You know,
my cousin Ryan, I know a lot of Ryans. My cousin Ryan and I once went to the video store, and we rented a movie, and we weren't old enough to rent a rated R movie. But it wasn't actually rated R. It was rated like mature or something like that. And it was like one of those classic like Beach Bunny movies where they showed their boobies.
Yeah.
And like we were like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Like, we'd like to rent this, please. Like, you can. I'm like, where does it say we can? And the guy's like, it's your lucky day, guys. Have fun. And gave us the movie. And we watched some boobies. It was awesome.
Core memory.
Funny how those don't ever leave, eh?
Right? Like, that's probably as good as it got,
Cousin
right?
Ryan. He's a good dude. He's living, where's he living? Like Brazil right now? No, Portugal. He's living in Portugal.
And he's telling that story right now.
Well, of course he is.
Oh.
You remember.
You're opening your mail now. I'm glad I'm entertained. I'm glad I'm such a good guest that
Look,
Gary
where's this
Nichols opening his mail while I'm talking.
There's a reason.
You've got mail. Okay.
Meaning behind the madness.
Okay, a hospital activity book for children.
So this is for the Children's Hospital.
Okay.
Make-A-Wish Foundation, proud partners. As you can see here, check that out. There it is. And we were thinking to ourselves, like, where would be a great place to promote our movement here of wanting to make the world a better place?
No
wanting to
way.
help others.
No way. For
Where can we do
real?
something like that? And look at this. Your ad appears on left-hand page. Look at that. Look at that. Right there. Where is it? Where is it? Right there.
What does it say? Read it out. Read it out.
It's not much words. It's more of a QR code.
Okay.
It says Dufferin Avenue Media Network. Create content. Learn to produce. Advertise with us. Give us a call. And then it's got the QR thing where you take a picture of it and it takes you to the web place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right in there. So we're in
That's
the,
insane. Good
we
for
made it
you.
into the comic book.
Congratulations.
What's up?
Oh, see?
See, he's just saying the nicest. I always feel like I'm missing.
He's a
what
man of
saying.
few
He's
words.
So kind.
That's why they have
Yeah.
so much weight when he speaks. He's like our silent Bob,
Totally.
right?
Huge impact every single time. Isn't that cool?
That is amazing.
I
Good for
saved that
you.
to open it just to show you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
It's really cool. So when
That's-
you're at the
we're growing.
hospitals
We're
or if
growing,
you're
man.
dealing with anything like that, children's hospitals, we are in there. Hit us up and let us know if we can help out in any way. We're going to put that right there.
Boom.
How do you feel about clutter?
I'm not a fan of clutter.
I get a lot
I'm
of shit for my
constantly decluttering.
So
I
do
grew
you
up in a
find-
cluttery house, and I think that was like as soon as I moved out, it was like I can't live.
Do you find this to be frustrating? Like, is this too much clutter for you?
Frustrating? No.
Okay.
This is a set.
Yeah.
It's a set.
And this is called supporting your friends. Right?
Absolutely.
It's not just clutter.
I ordered one of my books off Amazon today.
Like your own? That
Like
you-
my own. I have to order it off Amazon because it was published. I sold it to a publishing house in Sweden. And they go through a publishing company in the States. So currency changes 3 times. And I haven't actually talked to my publisher in years. I don't even know. I don't think the company's open anymore. It's this Swedish guy. And
All I could think
yeah.
of was the Swedish chef.
What? You pretty much. Yeah.
This is a book.
Sh-
I want to sell your book.
that's offensive and probably not that far off from how it went.
I guess I should think before I talk.
No, it was good. That was pretty much.
I-
I was like, is he here? Is that my publisher?
You ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia at all?
Always.
Yeah,
Dude.
when Mac is supposed to go into the house and pretend like he's a working person, he goes, "Oh, it's perfect. I'll be a plumber." He's like, "Oh, a Swedish plumber. I'm here to fix your pipes," and he'd do like the worst impression. That's what I was thinking.
There's a gentleman that always comes and does camera for Strip Down Live.
Nice,
And his name's Mike, and he works for the city, so we call him City Mike.
of course.
But it's all because of that episode of Sunny Philly where they were trying to swap City Mac with Country Mac.
Country Mac was.
Oh my god, that's like the best episode.
Is that Sean William Scott?
Yeah.
So
Good.
funny.
Wow,
Country
you really
Mac's
you do
super
your
nice.
stuff.
Yeah,
I was like,
and
is he just agreeing with me or does he know the episode? No.
I haven't.
Right
I
here.
haven't seen all of like the newer ones.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I'll watch when they're on like FX when I
Yeah.
used to have FX. Now I don't anymore. So that's
I
sort of
watched
slacking.
them all, dude. I know I'm dating myself, but there was one. It was a Boxing Day. I can't remember. It was like Future Shop or something or Best Buy,
Yeah.
and they had the giant bin of DVDs, and it was $5 a season. And this was like right when like DVDs were kind of off the shelves by now. You can only
Yeah.
get them from like Walmart and a couple places. But I was like, $5? Are you kidding me?
That's insane.
I got them all like 1 to like 12. Like the best $60 I ever
No
spent.
kidding.
$60? Was that right? Did I
so
do the
good.
math?
Hey, you're
60
talking to a guy who.
Yeah.
I failed my grade 12 math 3 times. Twice
Ooh,
at Ada Walden with Mrs. Roberts and once at Nutana with Mr. Catrue.
I passed with a 52 in grade 12, and I think that was a pity 52. I think they didn't want me coming back. Walter
Whatever it
Murray,
takes to get him out of
collegiate,
there.
could not wipe their hands of me soon enough. And fair. That's fair.
Love that. Okay. Hey,
Yep. Hit me.
This is the first show, I believe, that we've had 2 authors on. Were you on the
Yeah.
last time when you might have been here before.
I don't
'cause
know.
I think I brought that together, but my man Adrian's got his book. You have your book
Let's-
under a pen name.
Well,
Is CJ.
CJ Anderson. I'll
Is it
bring
a pen
it
name?
on next time, and
Is
we
it
can
a
do a
pen
full
name?
book.
Well, that's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
Like, we're here to help, man. This is.
I also
it's all about
made a
helping each other.
movie. I could have brought that too with local company Eyecatcher Video. We made a low budget horror movie that probably has a
I
whole
knew
bunch
this.
of people
I
you
knew
knew,
this.
and yeah.
I remember seeing.
Yep.
This. You were you the killer? You were like a.
No, I played a B. There was like 3. We did
You had
3
sunglasses on.
shorts with a wraparound, and I wrote and edited and produced the second one, and then I starred just as an actor in the third.
3 shorts.
Actor.
3 shorts with a
Actor.
wrap. That
Yeah.
sounds like my wardrobe right there.
Right?
That's like literally
Like the
my
old,
life.
the old
That's all
like
I got.
Simpsons Halloween specials back in the day when they were awesome. There'd
Each
be like, the
episode is their own
wraparound
thing.
with
Yep.
3 little, that was what we did. It was visionary Hugh Evans with his son Dylan and Doug Evans, and yeah, we hammered it up. We made a local horror movie, and it was awesome. Played at the Broadway Theater, one of the best nights of my life. Packed crowd. It was for the Dark Bridges Film Festival. They played our movie, and people laughed at the best at the parts they should laugh at. Right?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I'm just trying to reel myself back in here. So,
Okay.
author, actor. What else do we add to that? You got to build up your.
I don't know if I do any of these things at a high level.
But you
I did
have
them.
wrote. You've written a book.
I've written a book.
Written. You have written.
I cast a wide net, Gary. I've said this before.
That's
It's
what I'm
like
saying. You're a
one of
jack
these things is
all.
going to catch one of these days, right? And then I'll be off.
Dude, I was telling you before we got on here, my dream is to get all my buddies in here and have this be their job. And
Yeah.
you're one of those guys, man.
Uh,
Once this becomes big enough where we can just have everyone here hanging out, doing their thing and promoting whatever they're doing, that's when I'll be happy.
I'll start full time tomorrow. Like,
I don't got any money to pay you. I'd love to have you. But unfortunately, we're still growing here.
I'm just like that though. I do a little bit of everything. Yeah, I've got like 5 jobs now.
You're an interesting dude.
I
You're a
just I
very
can't
interesting
settle.
guy.
I can't settle.
It's the exact opposite. Like everything
Yeah.
that I am, you are the exact opposite. You know, you have no problem being out and about, talking to people. You can force your brain to focus enough to write a whole book. You can write movies. You even may or may not have something of a project that we might take on here at the
Yeah, I wrote a kids show. I wrote a 13 episode cartoon that I'm shopping around, and my agent is shopping around. I don't know why I did air quotes. I've actually got an agent. She's fantastic.
She's probably watching
She
us
is
right now. Saying,
Not selling my cartoon right now after seeing that. I didn't mean to air quotes. No,
That's
she's
fair.
working hard. She's out there grinding, trying to get in front of people, and
Think about how hard that would be, hey?
it's tough. It's
Especially in the world we're in right now.
well, I was during COVID, I went hard, and I was just emailing places, and I was like, I know it's probably not the best time, but like, what's the what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you know? Places that might take unagented submissions, and they're like,
Yeah.
every single place was the same. They're like, honestly, like we produce the ones that we can get paid to produce.
Yeah.
And if there's ever an opportunity to create one from scratch, we've got 16 employees that have their own scripts that are like, hey, look at,
Ready to go, yeah.
so you're
Get
coming in
line.
cold.
Get in line.
It's got to be the world's greatest show idea. And I was like, well, you won't believe this, lady,
I got it.
because it's not.
It is. So much so, like, I want to make it here. I want to create it.
It'd be great. We can do like
Like, you have full scripts and everything?
full scripts, fleshed out,
How many-
timed out, 13 episodes.
How
I have a
many-
Bible. I have the arc. I have the synopsis. I have the breakdown. I paid an artist from Winnipeg to do character sketches. Like, it's all there.
That's wild.
Yeah, I got it right up to the finish line, and then I just need somebody to
This is where
step it over.
This is where we are coming in to help. This is what the Dufferin Avenue Media
Right.
Network is all
It
about.
could be the first
Find
show from
someone-
Dufferin Avenue.
Finds, yeah, literally,
Right.
and this is what I want to do. How many different characters are in the book? Or, sorry, the show.
In the probably like there's like 5 major and then just some background.
Okay,
So it's not
how
that
many,
tough.
How many actors and actresses would we need?
6 mediocrely talented, 1 extremely talented.
We have that.
Yeah, you're gonna
We
do
have
it all.
that. Well, I'm not the guy.
You can
I'm not-
sit there.
I'm not the
I will,
talented one. I'm the-
I'll turn the pages like your mom at the piano recital, and you can just go.
Hold on,
13
let's-
episodes.
Let's test this out. Give me a character, and I'll see if I can voice him.
Oh geez. Oh, you
Like,
can't
just
put
off
me
the-
on.
Just off the character.
Okay, waitress
You-
number 2.
Hi, can I get you a drink?
Oh my God, I'm there. I'm in my show.
Sorry,
Right?
we don't have any more of that. Can I try something different for
That's
you?
really good.
What else you got?
Didn't
Did you say there was a big sexy one?
Yeah, there's this one character that in my head, he sounds like Kevin Nash.
You might have to voice that one.
Yeah,
You
he's
do a
like,
great
oh,
Kevin Nash.
come on, man.
Okay.
Who cares? You already got their money. What are you
So-
doing out there?
So basically, he's like the other cat, like me. Like this cat gets down. He says cat a lot.
These vanilla midgets that never drew a dime, you know?
That's
That's a
quote.
down. No, that's not a
quote.
good.
That's
If
a
I
bad
could
thing to
hear
say,
him, I
that's
can
a
actually.
quote.
I feel like I come on here and do nothing but bad
Okay.
bad
No, your impressions are great.
impressions.
No,
Thank
your
you.
impressions are
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's you gotta. Yeah.
I will say this.
Okay.
I got Coach Mays, who is one of the best voice actors you'll ever see. We show it off all the time
Really?
on the Good podcast. Yeah,
See?
he does so many different voices, and you would never know. And I feel like between him, me, and a couple of the other boys, we could voice this entire thing. And we got the female voices too.
Yeah.
We can do it all.
We could do it.
We could do it in-house. I would
It'd be
love
amazing.
to get you on the record right now saying, let's do this in-house and let's create it here.
Let's do it. Let's create it here. It'll be the first show produced by Dufferin Ave.
That's going to put us into the category of cartoon production,
Yeah.
along with voice production, as our booth is operational, Twitch streaming, music videoing, and music producing. That's a lot.
It actually got a grant once a few years ago, pre-COVID. I was working with some animators that were working for
There we go.
the Cat. I can't remember. There's a local production company here, an animation company. I can't remember what it's called, something Cat. And they wanted just like a project. They wanted a demo reel because they were like just doing backgrounds. And they're like, we want to,
You want to work on
we want to get paid to make some A stuff for our demo reel. And I said, here you go. And they took this and they took it to whoever sponsors or whatever, and they got a grant. They took it to like Sask Arts or whatever, and they got a grant to animate some of it.
So hold on. You didn't get any of the grant?
No, well, it was technically like in my name, but I was like, here you go.
Yeah, I guess
and
you-
it wasn't really enough money to get anything off the ground. Isn't that sad? But I got a grant. My project had a grant. It just was like a
So
kind of a jumble of sticks and like lines and circles running through a forest.
I'm trying to visualize how this will look. So we'll have scripts
Yep.
for us to voice. Do we need to do like the voice capturing stuff? Like, does it have to be recorded while the animation is rolling, or how does that work? Or
I
do
think
you
you'd
know?
voice it first, and then the
place it
animators
in.
would match it. I think.
Okay. So do we have animators yet?
I don't think so. That's
So
the next. You got to get some animators
We
on
gotta
the show.
find animators.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's the next step. So once we find animators,
we're
Can
we're
we-
off.
can we do all the voicing before the animators?
Probably.
Okay, I'm gonna get a schedule together. We're gonna put the team together.
We
and
put the
are
team
gonna
together and
put-
voice, and then
a
we'll just
kids' cartoon.
send 13, 23-minute audio files.
There's gotta be
somewhere.
There's gotta be.
There's gonna
like you
be
said,
some like
animators around these parts.
right. There's
Yeah.
gonna be some like team in Weyburn or something that are
Yeah.
just like we need a.
If you know any
project.
animators, let us know. Don't put
We
it in
got
the
a
comments, 'cause
project.
I never check the comments, but head to the website dufferinav.com. You ever check comments?
Do I? Oh, constantly.
Phenom, serve me up a little. There it is. Look at that. You a comment guy or no?
I try not to be, but sometimes.
You gotta stay away, bro.
I
Isn't that
know.
nice? Sometimes you can.
You can make a
squish it like we're
sandwich.
kids in the hall.
Yeah,
gonna
I
eat
squish
this.
your.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Oh, what a reference!
That's all we got.
Remember when
Big
Kids in the
reference.
Hall used to be on like Friday nights?
I remember being at the lake, and this is my big love for Kids in the Hall. Is everywhere I went, I'm such an addict to TV. Like even when you're at the lake and you got one channel, on that one channel, you will get Kids in the Hall. And
Right?
it was like the saving grace of having to force yourself to watch all the other garbage leading up to. But once Kids in the Hall came in, everything was okay.
It's true.
It's
It's
crazy.
a Canadian treasure.
It really is.
Well, 100%. I'm not being facetious. I remember sitting there with some friends on a Friday night watching Kids in the Hall, and I'm telling them the story about Degrassi School's Out and how that's like the first time
They
and the only
swore.
time they ever dropped the
swore.
F-bomb
Yeah.
on CBC. And I'm telling them how this is like the greatest thing ever and no one ever swears. And like literally 3 minutes later, where Kids in the Hall is on, and it's that one where they're at the bar and he wants to fight that guy, and they go into the alley,
Yeah.
and he just keeps getting his
I think-
butt kicked.
Yeah.
And then his girlfriend comes, and she literally, he comes out of the dumpster that the guy threw him in. She goes, "Jimmy, what the F are you doing?" And everyone's like, they're just swore there. And I was like, are you kidding me? The Kids in the Hall dropping the F-bomb after I'm building up Degrassi School's Out. But yeah, what was
There's
that?
nothing they can't do, man. What a great
What was
show.
that? Oh, I wish I could remember more of the skit. He takes it outside, and he's just like, there's so many of my quotes that I use in every day that I got from that one skit that he was like, all right, I'm going to start kicking everybody's butt in alphabetical order, so I'm going to need some names. Right? Like, that is a great line.
Is it Bruce McCullough?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he just keeps getting beat up. And,
Yeah,
and it's
over and over. Like
this guy
memorial,
that is
yeah.
the other actor, is not one of the kids in the hall. He's just
Yeah.
this like 6'8" guy that
dude.
just stands in the alley. And I was laughing, crying over that one.
Great show.
And like he has a flashback. He's so beat up that the queen appears, and she's like, "I highly recommend that you stay down."
Was it Scott Thompson?
Yes.
That's the best Queen impression.
Right?
The best Queen impression.
Kids in
what
the
a great
Hall.
show. It's a great show.
We should
And
do
those guys, nobody talks about how literally every one of them became huge stars in America.
Right?
All of them.
That one
I
guy
didn't even
did
know.
Superstore
Yeah.
not too long
He
ago.
was like the fifth guy.
Yeah, he
Barely
was
got
like
talked about.
has this weird voice in the show,
So
and
funny, just like
he
on Superstore.
probably made more in one episode of Superstore than he
Oh, yeah.
did his entire run of Kids in the
Yeah.
Hall.
Shout out to those guys.
Five good
That's-
dudes, man.
Yeah, great dude.
Yeah.
Great dude. You want to play some piano?
Oh, is it time? I'm out.
It's time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you didn't get forced out this time. We didn't overbook. You had full time, my friend.
We should play some Shadowy Men on Shadowy Planet that did the intro to Kids in the Hall, which I can't remember.
Dun, 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 dun. And then
On a VHS tape, I recorded that, and then I panicked one day because Punk Rock Girl came on, and I hit record, and it recorded. So I'm always like, anytime I hear that intro to Kids in the Hall, I always listen for like about 7 or 8 seconds in and expect Punk Rock Girl by the Dead Milkmen to just hard start. Isn't that weird how memories, you know? Kids today don't have that. They don't have like the bad dubs. And is my mic still on? Am I ranting still, or did Finan turn me down?
No, you're still on.
So, you know,
Yeah, you're
you
good.
hear sometimes, like on the old tapes and stuff that you recorded off the radio, you hear that music like 40 years later, you're like, I remember when the tape would go like, right at this part of the song. Or,
1,000%.
you know, one of your ex-coworkers would talk over the intro. You're like,
Classic.
come on, why are you talking? Don't talk right up to the first line of the lyrics. I want to hear the intro. I don't care that it's a sunny 22 outside.
Man, it's a real pleasure.
Always
Thank you
good,
so
buddy.
Much. Give me some love.
All right. I never know how to end these things.
No, you're doing great. You're still supposed to be playing, though, as we call it Wednesday. Man, this short week's really been messing with me. Thank you to the Phenom in the booth for
Gotta-
pulling off the double Zoom yet
Gotta
again.
play on your
Rushed
clutter.
it. Thank you to Coach 1 and Coach 2 for joining us.
Coach 3,
Thank you for Hospital Activity Book.
right?
Got that. As we are looking to help out anyone and everyone around here. If that's you, let us know. Hit us up at dufferinav.com, and we will be in touch and move forward.
Page
together.
33, just like that famous hockey player.
Paddy Waugh.
Yeah, him. It was right on the tip of my tongue.
You had it. That was good. To Curtis Anderson, thank you, my friend, for hanging out with us, sweating it out. You feel like you lost some
It
weight?
is warm in here. I wish. I hope.
25.
I hope so.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll make it back tomorrow if we don't burn up in here. I think I'm going to get a fan. I'll go find a fan or something. And
We're
then
good.
we'll do that tomorrow.
You
Thursday.
you got a fan in me, Gary.
Oh, you're so sweet. You got a friend in me.
We
Is
should
that
do
the
a
one?
Disney episode. I could talk
The
Disney.
guy. You are the
Right,
Disney
right?
guy.
I like to
You've seen
think
a
I
lot of
am.
Disney movies. So thank you to you for stopping by. And we will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. like we always do. Until then, be sure to have yourself an amazing, incredible hump day. And don't forget, karma is very, very real. Do good things, and you'll notice good things will start happening to you. That's how this place has been built. That's what we're all about. Anything else? We got like 10 seconds.
I was just remembering the female wrestler named Karma.
San Dimas High School football rules.
What?
Karma. She's good. Take care.